perfect. Let's move forward. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to that episode of Talking That Talk Official Podcast, where we have comfortable and uncomfortable conversation. I am just host, Juice, aka the Ordinary Brother.
All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite show. I go by the name of King Exodus. As always, we appreciate you for tapping in. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow the page, Talking That Talk Official Podcast on IG, of course, and tap into their YouTube channel. We got the link in both of my bios. You got it.
All right, y'all. So we have a current event dealing with the late host, wilding out, named Jackie O. My condolences to the family. DC Young Fly's girlfriend. They had 3 kids. We learned about the situation of her having a surgery done to her body, and shortly at the time as passed on, she ended up passing away from this. We don't know 100% the surgery was done right, was it done wrong, but she ended up passing away from it. And we had an episode that was created a while back. It was like, is anything organic? Like, do people still enjoy the organic and natural way women building their bodies, putting in the exercises, eating the fruits, diet, and doing things from natural hair to natural bodies, just like everything we talked about. One thing I found interesting, when the situation that popped off, I started seeing people do reviews and start having their own opinions over the subject. One of the things they said was like, listen, the reason why women are getting BBLs is because of you men force women to want to create a certain type of body to satisfy y'all. So it makes us go to great lengths of doing plastic surgery or starving ourselves. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, for the longest, we heard the rhetoric of, yo, I got this surgery for me. You know what I'm saying? I did this for me. But now, more and more that, you're having these BBL incidents and accidents and surgeries and people passing on weight, it's now getting targeted at it's men's fault for that, right? I have never personally told somebody, look, baby, I can't wait to slap some ass on you in the future. You know what I'm saying? I just went and bought you some 33-inch Brazilian long. I'm going to color it pink. I like that pink shit. I don't need you natural. I need you weaved up, get the fingernails that wrap around like a hook and shit. I don't know men who be appealed by it. Majority of the time, I've heard men always say, listen, I like a woman who's natural. You don't mind working for the things. You love your body. If you want to make, you know what I'm saying? You want to make improvements to it, work for it, right? Go through a situation right now. I put on I told X, I put on a dry fit shirt the other week. I seen how big my stomach got. I almost cried. I was like, yo, I feel depressed, X. I don't know what I'm going to do, man.
Don't jump.
Order that shirt. I order me a vest. I've been going to work. I've been going to work. Been sweating so much today. But nah, man, let's go and get back on subject. But that's just to say, like, listen, when you want something, you're gonna make it happen to get back to that state or to get it back. And my fault. I let that go. I'm gonna say one thing. She had a previous video before saying she was trying to avoid getting surgeries. She had a video before saying she was trying to avoid getting surgeries because she's like, women be trying to treat the process of working for the body that they want. But after the 3rd child, it clicked in her mind like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna get the body I want now. I have a 3rd kid. Maybe I should look forward towards getting the surgery. But beforehand, she was against it. So I will say that. Now you go ahead.
All right. Tragic. It's just really weird that we're in a space of time that, like, I've had the conversation with different people, women, of course, and as crazy as it may seem, I didn't get like a strong opposition towards the entire like surgery processes in totality. What I got was how it should be done, the dangers of it, and how a doctor can mess up. And I was just like, wow, like, why not just stay away from it? Like, you know what I'm saying? So the comparative thought would be like, okay, a 32-year-old young lady was taken away from my family and children prematurely, right? So the comparative state of mind would be like, what is the difference from putting your life on the line for something that society says that is okay versus what society deems not appropriate, right? You know what I'm saying? You could tell the gang member, hey, that's crazy. Don't do that. You're killing each other for no reason. You can tell the drug dealer, hey, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, who gets to pick and choose what's appropriate for you to put your life on the line for or not, right?
Mm.
So everyone makes decisions, and sometimes these decisions aren't what's best for our family. You know what I'm saying? You even had what's the chick name? Danny Lay,
Anyway,
whatever.
yeah.
Right. She had an incident where she got hit with DUI, uh, a hit and run, felony charges for drinking and driving. You know what I mean? So a bad decision sometimes that can risk our lives is just a bad decision. And sometimes we just have to put it all within the same category and move forward. You feel me? So the body work thing is, a lot of people could take that work and become like, what I'm saying, blow up on social media. We see all these singers. What's her name? SZA. I, hey, boy, I thought that thing was real.
Me too.
You know
I
what I'm
thought
saying?
I
I was
thought that
like,
thing was real too. I said,
so,
hold on, whoa.
so all these chicks I'm seeing on the TV screen or the phone screen, I'm like, okay, yeah, bet she, that's a go, that's a go, that's a go. And then somebody come back and like, they got surgery, they got surgery, they got surgery. That ain't real. I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? So in one space, you do have people that, like I say, they could take those types of things and make money from it. But what kind of society is that to where you have to edify yourself to that extent just to sell your talent? Like, people are not looking at every complete thing about it.
Right.
So people shouldn't feel pressured to go get surgery in order to produce money and income. That means we have a lack of knowledge and information and a lack of resources. Feel me? So we just got to go back to the drawing board and really think about what we're doing and what type of decisions we're making. You feel me? So, man, we barely like to go to the doctor as is. You feel me? Just no work included. Just going is like, we like, damn, they gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? They got to put you to sleep. We like, I don't know if I'm gonna wake back up. Feel me? So it's just mind-boggling at the type of decisions we're making out here. So that's all, man.
All right, all right. I also want to relate that back to the subject, which is constipated energy. You got to remember, all this stuff is built up inside people that makes them then try to find the escape to a way to release what they're feeling inside. So sometimes the energy that's built up can be chaotic that you release, and sometimes it can be something that's energetic and also, what is that? Well thought when released. All right.
Hold
So,
on, I got one more thing on that before we do that, man. Something just hit me. What's wrong with just being how we are? Like, you feel me? Like, what is perfection when it comes to your body? What is that? What is perfection when it comes to your face? You feel me? Like, I mean, shit. If somebody else got sharp cheekbones and you got a round face, does that automatically mean they look better than you? You know what I'm saying? Somebody may work out and have a big chest, but their shoulders may not match their chest. They may have muscles but not have abs. Somebody upper body may be bigger than their lower body. Somebody lower body may be where it's at, and then they don't have the upper body. Like, who's to say who looks better or what is the standard level of what's attractive or not? Like, this is just a moment to self-reflect and just be like, look, are we really happy within ourselves? And are we really happy with what we see in the mirror? Feel me? So it's not really like ugly people with the low self-esteem, so to speak. And I know it's bad. Some people say you shouldn't say people are ugly, but it is what it is. But it's not always looks that actually equates to self-esteem. Sometimes people that's quote unquote ugly can have the highest self-esteem. Sometimes people that have money still have low self-esteem. So it's not the money. So when it comes down to these things, we just truly have to define what is happiness to us, what is appealing to our own eye. And sometimes you got to walk accordingly and live within that image of beauty or what is attractive to us first. So that's all.
you're right, man. Listen, while me and X did a lot of studying over bodybuilders, we know we understand bodybuilders be some of the most insecure people.
Yeah, because they looking in the mirror, they trying to make sure everything's perfect.
Perfect.
That can drive them insane.
Right.
And I'll say this, ladies. I say this, ladies, too. We're going. There's so much alterations going on to the body that eventually titties and ass is not even going to be appealing to man, because you're going to see that that's going to become so frequently. That's going to be the consistent thing that we're going to be like, man, look at that skinny motherfucker over there. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to be looking crazy because you went out and got all this stick work done. So what I'm trying to say is, a woman specifically being sexy is not based on a standard of thick. Some women are, you know what I'm saying, can be attractive, small. Some women are attractive at different intervals of weight. Like, it's for every woman out there with a body size, with her breast bigger than her bottom half, the bottom half bigger than the top,
Let
whether she
titties smaller than
big,
the
whether
right
she
thing,
skinny, you know what I'm saying? One nipple do this, the other one do this. Like, it's
Yeah.
somebody that's gonna like that. You feel me? So don't try to make yourself applicable to every eye. That's just totally insanity. You feel me? So I'm done, man.
Remember this. I always say this. You can chase perfection, but you can never be perfect. So one of the crazy things. All right. Subject time. All right. Welcome to the episode, Constipated Energy. I know what y'all thinking, like, why would it be called constipated energy, right? This is just energy that's built up inside of you. Things that haven't been released properly, which cause build up to a point where a person can explode. We talk about childhood traumas, situations dealing with other people, how to handle the situations, and more so that it happened. Me and X always be having these conversations between each other, man. Sometimes they last an hour, sometimes two, maybe three. And I remember telling them a couple of times, I'm like, listen, if I never knew how to properly release certain energy, there's no telling where I'll be in my fucking life, right? Um, we just seen many examples. For instance, we know people who have had situations deal with abusive relationships, right? The abuser stop wanting to get abused and end up exploding, taking somebody's life. You have people who look how to channel the energy, or let's just say the hood energy in them. They try to release it by working out or going somewhere far out the city where they can release it. And you know what I'm saying? They find like the proper methods to where they can tap into that energy, release it, and not let it constantly build up to a point where you snap. We have seen plenty of times where energy, where some of the great smiling people, energy, or anything of that nature, these people end up snapping later on in life because they never knew how to deal with the situations or talk to how to properly deal with the energy or finding ways to release it. You have blockages, right? For all my chakra people, you know what blockages is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those chakra, head chakra, whatever you want to call it.
Crown
Your chakras get,
chakra.
hey, crown chakra. Hey, listen, man, I sent them on my chakras, baby. Well, your chakras get blocked is because you're not finding a place to release it. It gets stuck. That's what we're saying. You need to find proper ways to release energy. Otherwise, when you explode, you might not come back.
Okay, okay, okay. I see. I see. Um, First thing I'll talk about is release work. Everybody has to find ways to release different types of energy that's built up. If you like necessarily come from low vibrational spaces and atmospheres and you're trying to transcend into higher spaces, right? Higher frequencies, 9 times out of 10, people tend to relocate. They tend to like ditch old habits, disassociate from old friends and family members that don't share that same trajectory of energy, right?
Mhm.
So what tends to happen is sometimes people can get so wrapped up in trying to upgrade everything about themselves, they kind of like fiend to do some of the things they used to do, right? Sometimes it bottles down to like the whole philosophy behind good and bad decisions. Sometimes people can make so many good decisions, they make bad decisions because they're making so many good decisions. And it sounds crazy, but it's like, damn, some people just miss the thrill of just doing something bad, quote unquote. For instance, some people could diet, train, and work out every day, nonstop. You know what I'm saying? And then one day they like, man, I just gotta have this cheat day. I just want a burger. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Today I'm just eating all the sweets I see. Give me the candy. You know what I'm saying? And they get a high from it.
Right.
So you have to be careful about, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be careful about making so many good decisions, but what I'm trying to say is you even want to evaluate how you make your bad decisions. Right? That's like a Hail Mary first and second. Evaluate everything about yourself. Some people try to be so in their higher state that they forget you still have a lower state. And this is going to come out regardless, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Whether you black out and you do shit, whether you make terrible decisions, like it's going to come out. So what you want to do is be aware of your higher self and your lower self. You want to be able to feed both. You know what I'm saying? As crazy as it sounds, you want to be able to feed both properly. Make sure that even the things you do within your lower nature is still healthy. Let's
Mm,
not
mm,
dissociate completely from it and pretend that it's not there. remember, mold and all that shit, it grows in the dark, it don't grow in the light. So once we bring everything to the light, now we can grow. But the more you hide shit and just continue to bury it, you know what I'm saying? Like you just continue, let's say I don't fold my clothes. I throw them in a corner. I bet you can't see the clothes in the corner. But eventually I'm gonna pile so much shit in that corner, you can't help but fucking see it because I've been piling shit over there trying to hide it. So eventually we gotta fold the fuck clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Hey,
not,
look, man,
we're gonna,
talk that talk,
yeah,
man. Tell them what they need to do. Man,
we're
fuck
gonna
the
run out of
goddamn phone.
hiding spaces. You're gonna run out of all these things. So eventually you just gotta look in the mirror and face yourself for who you are, the high person and the lower person. That's duality at its
Yeah,
finest, balance.
that's
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Hey, who talks about
yeah,
duality at the
yeah.
finest, man? That was me. Said that for years.
Ah, shit.
Hey, I said that for years. It used to be. Hey, it used to be on my bio, bro. Stop playing with me.
Damn.
Duality at its
All
finest. Yes,
right,
that was on my bio for a long
all
time.
right, man.
Yeah,
All right.
listen, he'll like give me our credit, y'all. He'll like give me my credit, man.
God damn. Yeah, you got
Listen,
it.
I'm gonna be the child, but he be the small brother. Fuck it, I'm the smooth cat. All right, let's get back on the subject, man.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing he said is like, listen, finding the proper way to release and to feed things, right? Um, anytime I ever been in a situation where things are going down here, I almost said like, listen, I remember times where I feel like I'm about to hit my last dollar. You know, shit is going down the drain. I said, if I go into survivor instincts, it could be a lot of negative shit that I'm willing to do because the survival mode means you're willing to do anything. However, if you can learn to tap into your survivor instincts and make progress, that's one of the key healthy things to hustling. What it make it, we always hear people like, no, I remember them days where I didn't have nothing. Like, listen, I do this for my family. Like they're kicking in, they're reactivating things that were in them in order to have that drive and that push to get shit done. I think that's one of the beautifulest things when you can actually use your lower nature to get things done in a positive manner. Like I remember times, like I remember, I remember times I would tell myself and challenge myself, like, listen, we don't make this amount of sales. You don't get to sleep in your bed today. I remember times I had to sleep in my car. But it's more so, but you know what? It made it so uncomfortable that when it started coming out more, it was just like I'm getting shit done. Because people feel like this when you sometimes you don't execute on your goals, people don't feel like you need to be hard on yourself, right? It's more so like, oh, it's always tomorrow. Like, no, no, no. Tap into the energy that you know how to get shit done, right? I would say all the time with X and the other people, I'm like, listen, I just be making shit happen. I know how to get shit done. That's because I allow myself to tap into that energy that gives me that thrill. It gives me that adrenaline. It gives me that high to know to make the activities versus if I want to set on my high energy, be like, you know what? Everything takes time. We're just gonna do it how it naturally comes. Like sometimes switch your energies to make the progress you need to make. Right? Don't if you hold on to something too long, sometimes you don't make no progress. I know people who live by time so much. I'd be like, yo, you still got bills, bro. I'm like, the bills will come every month, but you still believe in doing certain activities that no matter what is gonna happen. I was like, they said actions without faith is really nothing. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta put actions, activity behind it. That's why when I talk to certain people, I can be direct with them, and then at the same time, I understand how to be persuasive with them. It's all about the personality type of individual I'm dealing with. I'm switching my energies, and I'm also giving them a healthy outlook. That's why I always say, listen, I'm gonna give you two sides. I'm gonna tell you, don't do that shit, and I'm gonna be like, listen, if you do that shit, you need to do it in a manner that gets it effectively done, and not have backfire on you. So that's all I want to say. Right.
Facts, facts. I'm gonna do a combination here. You have hard work, and then you have being content. And it's crazy because I'm a person that thrives off of hard work, um, work until I die, always push, even when it comes down to my physical training. I was training somebody, and I'm like, bro, like the way I train, it's not ordinary. If you mix my philosophy of hard work and what people deem as insanity, like being just crazy, fuck it, I'm gonna do the craziest shit. You combine it with a scientific approach, and then you still have the discipline behind it. Like it's unparalleled, it's unmatched. So I thrived in that space of always pushing, pushing, pushing. You know, I even said it. Look, give me 6 hours of sleep. In reality, sometimes I get 5 hours of sleep, still work 10, 12 hour shifts, still go to the gym, still listen to audio, still read, still study, still make content, still podcast, still do this, still be a father, and I would thrive off of, I'm working hard, I'm pushing it. Well, in totality, you kind of like self-destructing at the same time, even though you're making progress from working so hard. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Samuels was a great guy. He was like, look, work 60 hours a week. Okay, that's great. A lot of people push this work 60 hour shit. AMS dropped the video, and it came up on my feed like for the last 3 or 4 days, and I finally watched it. It says something very powerful. Look, work hard, no doubt, but clock that. Put it on the clock. Actually view, okay, I worked this amount of time to get to this level. Now at this level, I should be able to cut back some of the hours. Feel me? You sometimes you want to be content. As crazy as it sounds, you feel me? Sometimes you have to even have your points of hustle, grind, and where you're trying to go, and still have your points of being content. This is what he was saying will keep you alive, keep more stress out of your life. Because if you always know hustle, work, grind, get more, well, that can happen for you, but you're going to burn out. Going back to Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels even said it in multiple episodes. I don't sleep, I work, right? So when he was like, what's the cause of his death? Well, he had cancer previously. He survived it, right? But he also was popping them Red Bulls like it was water because he worked so much he didn't sleep. Right. So so he pretty much worked himself to his demise, but he also worked himself up to his peak of popularity and money and income. So it's like, do we want to get the bag and die because we worked so hard to get the bag, or do we want to get the bag and focus on longevity? This is the balance that everybody got to battle with. I want the world, Chico, and everything in it, but I also want to live to make sure that I see, you know what I'm saying, this coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying? I want to see my children, my grandkids. I want to see all these things. But if I grind so hard, push, I'm probably not going to see that side of it. But I probably get the back. So you just have to evaluate everything on a scale. I know some people that work so much, they grind so hard, they push. I'll be like, fam, you missed every holiday with your family. Like, you feel me? Like, at that particular point, is it worth it? You feel me? Because these are the moments you're never going to be able to get back. You can always clock in on a job. You can always study. You can always go to the gym. You can always, this shit is here. It's not going to go anywhere. Even when Jamie Foxx got sick, feel me? They was like, look, he got sick. They immediately put somebody else in the role. Look, these jobs and money is never going to stop. Once one currency runs out, they'll switch the currency and then it'll be something else. Like, that shit is always going to be here, but you may not always be here. So as much as you want to work to make sure you get the bag, you also want to make sure you're live, build memories. That shit is never going to leave. Even if you leave the memories that you created with other people, they will remember. You feel me? So that's the longevity. And even if both of y'all or everybody that shared that memory goes, it'll be some type of way to document the memory. Pictures, social media, somebody will tell stories about that moment. You know what I'm saying? Tupac been dead for I don't know how many years. People still talk about it like he died yesterday. Feel me? So let's get out of the world of hustle, grind, push, and just really just focus on, like, are we living our best lives? Are we living in moments? Are we spending time with the people that we love? Are we spending time? Our children don't even fucking know us. That's just how it really gets. We so busy working, grinding, and flipping, and I'm doing this for the fam. I'm doing this for my kids. Still, them people they don't even know you because you always working. So we just have to reevaluate hard work and finding points of contentment. And my last point on that, like, look, I would talk to people. I'd be like, bro, like, I see you, I know what you're doing. But at some point, after you make an excess amount of money, when do you cut it off and transition and go to something else? It's the same thing. You feel me? It's the same thing. if you can dodge everything out there, you made money. When do you stop this and go to the next thing, transcend? But if you're so locked into this cash cow is running and I'm gonna run it out, eventually that's what might happen to you as well. You might demise at the same time that runs out. So that's all I got, man.
Man, reevaluate, reevaluate, restore, restoration. Like I said, that's one of the main things I want to do. Talk about. There's people who have so much stuff built up within them that they don't necessarily know how to heal. Right? Talk about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels talked about plenty of times in the episode. He's like, "Listen, I need a vacation." Body was dying for that that rep. You know what I'm saying? So many people, and so many people are so laid back and lazy, they don't even know how to go anymore. Like, where's your drive? Like what's going on? Along with that, listen, everybody's ambition level is different, right? What I'm aiming for ambition-wise might not be the same length that you're aiming for, but as long as you go out there and make it happen, that's what really counts in the end. So sometimes when you have energy blockages, one of the main things I want to say is it's kind of good to reflect on what's going on while you're having these blockages, right? I know there's situations where I remember having a Reiki session before, and there's something about my chakras. Hey, this is going on. I don't know if something's going on at work, but this is a connection towards it, or this could be childhood trauma, or this could be a relationship. I'm like, what the, you know what I'm saying? This is when like I'm kind of young. I really didn't know what's going on, but it gave me a lot of reflection periods to know how to go through the situations, talk things out. Listen, one of the healthiest things you can do is talk things out with things that's going on in your life. Now, everybody has the best advice. Some people, like I said, you might have one guy to be like, listen, you depressed, go get in the gym, go work out. You won't be depressed no more. That's some people's methods. Some other people be like, listen, go talk to a therapist. You got to find different things to where you can release this energy in order to be helped. If you can't be helped while this energy is constantly building up, like I said, that explosion can be detrimental to who you are and to people around you. I remember seeing like a homeboy explode. Like, he was always a nice guy. Next thing you know, I seen him up. He's tatted up, grilled up. I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, he was just in corporate. Man, listen, man, I can't deal with these F-tards no more. This is not me. I've been wanting to sag my pants for a while. I was like, oh, whoa. Where is this coming from? Yeah, he didn't know how to deal with certain situations of energy that he felt maybe if I completely change, I can completely learn how to release it. But what ended up happening was it consumed him. Some of your energy will consume you and make you a whole different breed. And people will tell you, oh, you changed, or you might be looking at it like, well, shit, I'm supposed to change. I like, hey man, the world made me this way, man. Like, no, you never learn how to deal with your fucking problems. That's what really happened. You never learn how to deal with your problems. So in the event of your energy that never learned how to get transferred or put into something healthy or released properly, it consumes you. Now you're a different person. Best example I can give you is the Hulk. What happened? Bruce Banner get mad, he turned green. Consumed by hatred. Until he releases it all, then he turns back human. Or it takes that woman to talk to him and he's able to calm down. Like I said, bro, it's a lot. It's a lot when it comes to energy being built up or released. It's in cartoons, it's in movies, it's always there. You can one of my favorite things is Avatar, you know. Avatar 8. He literally have a breakdown of the chakra points and how you release it and which ones is dealt with different. Even one of the biggest ones was forgiving. Sometimes if we don't know how to properly forgive situations, we'll be stuck into it, and that energy will always transfer to the next situation or relationship as we move forward. Like they always say, sometimes, like, listen, sometimes you got 1 year experience of doing the same thing for 10 years. You want to make sure your experiences are developed and healthier for the next years to come.
Facts. Okay. Man, one of my favorite movies, Me, Myself, and Irene. I don't know if
Man, that's my
seen that.
movie, baby.
Yeah. All right. So you got Jim Carrey he's this good cop, good person, like, feel me, like but he's a pushover. So you know what I mean? So he's just constantly like, yes man, yes man, yes man, whatever, I'll do it. He taking shit constantly, and then eventually he takes so much shit he snaps, and then he turns into Hank. Hank is the
Ain't gonna
complete.
go
So we laughing because
Yeah,
although
we
if
know
you
where
seen
Hank
the
is. I
movie,
hate about this.
complete classic. Hank ain't with all that fuckery. Hank is Hank a G. You feel me? So like I say, sometimes you can try to like suppress so much energy, and then it comes out of you in so many different types of ways. This is going back to that. One thing I talk about as well is finances, money, constipated energy. Some some people budget their money out on ratios, 50, 30, 20. Some people follow different formulas. But what I've noticed is sometimes people can save so much, they find a way to fuck off some money. Feel me? Like it happens. You know what I'm saying? Some people could still fuck off some money and still like make it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but sometimes people get a high once again off just making a bad decision with their money because they budget so tough and they save so much. So you're gonna always have this buildup of energy, right? Some people will just one weekend, fuck it. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna spend money. I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna do it all. And I don't knock people for that because, especially if I know what you're doing on a daily basis. Feel me? So what I'm trying to say is everybody reaches a point to where they gotta have a release word. So if you're not, what I would say is like, look, if it comes down to money, you making money, you budgeting, your ratios are met, bills are paid. Find a way to effectively spend your money to where it's not too bad. Get it out early. Feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, find a way to do that. Whether you know what I'm saying, buy yourself a shirt every paycheck. I don't care. It could be something small, but it means something to you because you know you're stepping outside the budget. Buy yourself a pair of pants, pair of shoes, a watch. I don't give a fuck what it
Get you a
is.
suit once a month like me. You know what I'm saying?
So when you go broke, don't be like, look, talking that talk. X told me do that. I ain't trying to see y'all in court behind this. You feel me?
Hey,
But
disclaimer.
yeah, disclaimer. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is entertainment. But yeah, find a way to, you know what I'm saying, kind of do this in a healthy way. Some people get a high off donating charity. Some people get a high off like whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to money. You don't want to be locked in the world of money, making money and saving money and never spending money. And then for you know it, you out there just, you know what I'm saying, you're in a strip club just making it rain, you know what I'm saying, because that's what's giving you that high. You don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, unless you got it, you know what I'm saying, if you got it, hey, do it. I ain't knocking. But just make sure you find a way to spend your money in a healthy way. I'm not going to be the person to tell you, always stick to this ratio, always stick to this budget, always do this. Some people got money, but they still popping out like soups and shit like that because they still they got a path and a vision, and it sounds great, but at the end of the day, people want to spend their money. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
We live in a consumer culture where everything's based off the consumer. You feel me? Not even a person that's offering a service or products for the consumer to buy, but it's based on the consumer. So once we all get in touch with that, hey, everybody's a consumer at something. I know people that can like budget on like food, right? They eat cheap, but they be like, yeah, I'm saving money. I'm doing what I got to do. They paying their bills. They saving money when it comes to health, but then they go out and buy material things after they saved up that amount of money. So everybody's going to spend their money. You just have to pick and choose how you do it because eventually you're going to make decisions that's against your budget. So just once again, look in the mirror and be honest about what you're doing. You have your higher conscious and your lower conscious. You always want to feed both, but just do it in a healthy capacity. So you got to.
Yeah, man. Listen, give you a better play out of cartoon. Have you ever seen The Simpsons? There's a little angel.
Mm-hmm,
There's that little devil on the side. That's
mm-hmm,
your higher and lower consciousness.
mm-hmm.
So you know, man, the crazy part is some of those scenarios. Listen, the evil one actually had a good point at some points,
Good point.
but it was to be understood when to activate at certain methods,
Mhm.
right? As we talk about duality, yin and yang, uh, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
He brought up a great movie. He said, "Me and my son Irene, I want to talk about the water boy." The water boy had to learn how to channel his energy from exploded. Got him football. Start playing
Uh,
football. They was like, use your rage. Use it on the field. Listen,
mhm.
stuff you got built up, learn to use it on the field somewhere. You got to
Facts.
learn how to do something in a manner that doesn't keep you, what's the word? Mind fog, right? Mind fog, or you be like, listen, sometimes you can tell when somebody has a dark cloud over their head because they don't know how to deal with their problems or situation. That's another thing.
Mm,
So you got to be aware of situations like that. Like I
mm.
said, Waterboy popped in my head immediately because I remember when he was like, "Quit making fun of me," and he ran on that football field and popped him. What? Hey, it was over after that. He found a way to release that energy, start becoming a star football player, start making friends. He started being beneficial because he learned how to release his energy. He became
Mhm.
beneficial to the team. He became, listen, like, I don't understand. Like, listen. The main point I want to get at is when you release energy, you can be beneficial for other people.
Facts.
Don't ever
Facts.
get consumed by
Yeah.
it. The water boy.
Facts. And just keeping it right there. I won't be too long on this one, but some people believe in God, the Creator. Some people believe in the universe. Whatever you believe in, um, that creative power, right, did not give you anything that cannot be utilized for good. It just depends on you being a person that went through the experience. So for me in particularly, I can go through situations that bring about great anger and rage. Instead of going out and going crazy and doing the most destructive things that I can possibly do, that can be a motivating factor. That can be something that make me study more. That can be something that make me work harder. That could be something that can make me like try to relay a message to somebody that's in that same position that I was once in. So energy is always at a point to where you can transmutate it. It shouldn't stay at a negative. And then this begins to change your perception of what's negative and what's positive. If we talk about 50, we talk about all these different people. Look, dude could have easily got shot 9 times and went back to the streets 100%. He didn't have to get shot 9 times and then become 50 Cent.
No, he
So,
stayed in the street life.
yeah. So we just have to build a world to where people don't have to associate with trauma in order to become better. But trauma doesn't necessarily mean it's the end. For every traumatic experience, it's somebody that can become a new millionaire, new billionaire, new whatever. And it's always the opposite. Somebody can experience trauma and they can become a failure. It happens. It's a 50-50 ratio, but just make sure you're not on the losing end of your quote unquote negative experiences. Everything can be positive. It just depends on you and how you use the energy. And I could take it somewhere else a little light. This will be my last point. Sexual energy. Um, um, you feel me? I be listening to the bros. They be like, look, semen retention and abstinence is the way. And look, hey, look, I did. You know what I'm saying? I dabbled. You feel me? I dabbled. Years ago with that. You know what I mean? But everybody's different. You feel me? Everybody's at different intervals and levels of even their own sexual energy. Some people suppress so much of their sexual energy and use it for creativity or whatever, and then they end up catching a couple of bodies that they shouldn't have caught. You know what I'm saying? Or they end up making some bad decisions sexually. You feel me? So I always want to be aware of your energy. Feel me? You have some people that can go out there, tackle the world, become a millionaire, hustle. Even people that make thousands. You know what I'm saying? You came from nothing, you made a couple of thousands. You still hustle, you still diverse your portfolio of investments, whatever it is. Look, that person still got the rights of passage to get some that night. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So you don't want to be so locked into, you know what I'm saying, suppress, don't do. Like, look, even your sexual energy is your most powerful and creative energy. Just use it properly. You know what I'm saying? Some people turn it off and that don't work out for everybody. You feel me? So all of your energy is meant to be utilized. Just make sure you know what you're doing with it. You feel me? So I think sexual energy is a very, very great point to
You
bring up
laugh.
in the conversation.
I'm laughing.
That's a good point.
Oh man.
You don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? You don't want no blockages on that level. You feel me? You don't want no blockages. You feel me? Yeah, get that out, man. Get that
You
out.
don't want to. What's the word? You don't want to be dick deprived. You don't. You don't want to. I
Yeah.
listen. I'm just gonna keep it real since we're on this subject. It ain't nothing wrong with smacking a little back. It ain't nothing wrong with smacking a little back. But at the same time, people got to remember, like they said, even your releases sexually be some of the most healthiest things for you at times, right? You know what I'm saying? During sexual releases, you know what I'm saying? Your partner might be telling you the right shit. And it's helping you release, it's helping you get a little stressed out. Like, listen, they also say sex has benefits. Sex has benefits itself. We got to remember that as well. But like I said, your partner might be telling you all the right things while you smack a little bag. You might be making a little love, you know. I don't know what you do. But I would also say, you know what I'm saying, be conscious of the activities that are partaken. Like I said, when you resist so long, some men don't even know how to approach women after a certain period of time, right?
Yeah.
Some people, there's theories saying like if a man could suppress sex for so long, women will find that more attractive. I was like, maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't know, but at the same time, some people are also looking at being, what's the word? Kind of stoic, like throwing away sex at the same time. Because they feel like, listen, I'm more than sex, so I'm going to stick to my path and purpose. Okay, that's cool, brother. But at the same time, always remember the greatest people did not sexual activities at the same time.
Losing the mojo. That's look, we say, look, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And we want to apply that to everything except sex.
Every goddamn thing.
Except sex. Like, if you don't use it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose it. You feel me? Like, that's one of the things, you know, that takes that constant approach, that training, you know what I'm saying, the mentality, whatever. You're not just going to, like, I'm not trying to knock the community that believes in this whole retention type of thing. Like, it's powers behind it, but even those people do their thing. Just got to be aware of where you're consuming your information, who's giving you the information, and all like good types of things.
Right.
So, yeah. Utilize it properly.
Right. Or like they said, like if you can learn how to release without actually releasing your statement, then that's also beneficial as well. But you know what I'm saying? What they talk about the Kundalini and
yeah, you know,
yeah, let me stop.
energy go up to spine vertebrae to the 32nd
Come back
vertebrae,
down and
the 33rd, yeah, reverse.
woo. Hey, you can do that.
Hey, well, you know, one more time, you know,
Shut the
that's
fuck
meditating.
up, nigga.
That's meditating. You know? Hey,
You know what?
X ain't get to talking like this on podcasts, you know what I'm saying? Coincidentally, you feel me?
Oh man, listen, I got out of character, man. I gotta remember who I am, man. I'm about that's a nigga moment, man. I'm about
Nah,
that's a nigga moment.
nah, you good. But yeah, most definitely. Constipated energy. I think we tackled every point. High energy, low energy, sexual energy, money, success, rest. I think we did our job, man. I think we did it all.
Duality perspectives, yeah. Knowing when to switch, code switch different personalities for situations. You gotta know when to release. Like, listen, one of the best people to watch on how to utilize like energy. Shoot, watch Power. Saint Patrick and Ghost.
Yeah. They tell it. What did Tommy say? He say, look, you can't be a civilian and a gangster at the same time. Eventually, you got to make a choice. So many people try to be so many things at once. They self-destruct.
Right.
Yeah. So you eventually have to choose a path and stick to it.
Right. And he chose to stick to a path, even though he kept flipping back and forth. Like I
Mhm.
said, but at the same time, pay attention. He chose a path and was trying to get to it, but he understood he had to switch his energies in order to get there at the same time. Playing a nice role wasn't getting him there. When he got a little bit more aggressive, people start respecting him more. So, hey, just know when
Cool.
to turn it on, when to turn it off. Yeah, I
Cool.
got something.
Yeah.
That's all I got, man.
Uh, my last personal reflective thing I can bring up is like I said earlier, I know I have a bit of a rage and all these different types of things. So what I do is I find people to necessarily follow, listen to, consume content that may be a little bit at a rage point and maybe a little bit quote unquote destructive. But we talk about me and you had a conversation. We talked about King Von. I'm like, bro, like when I listen to that music and I'm like, and I just really tap in and relate, I'm like, bro, I could have been that person easily, 10 times
Yeah.
over. I had a different balance. I had different visions, different plans, but I don't disassociate completely, right? So that's the trick of using other people's energy within the same space. If somebody else may have dabbed into that 100%, you don't have to dab into it 100% because they kind of like did it for you within a particular space.
Right.
Just tap into them. Just tap into that energy. Feel me? And then you have people that you can tap into their energy that did it on a higher level of your consciousness. Now, even what you consume for entertainment is still balancing you out.
Right.
You don't want to be the person that's like listening to classical music and meditation music, which I love both all day long, but you really just want to hear that rah, rah. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you need to hear that. You
Yeah,
need to
man.
hear a couple of that just to put you back. Oh, okay.
Hey, you know,
I'm
hey,
back. I'm
somebody
back.
got you whacked
I'm
around
back.
this ball.
Some, if I don't kill them, let me hear somebody else do it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying kill nobody, but sometimes that's just like balance at its finest. You feel me? So you don't got to do it. Sometimes you just tap into the right energy at the right time and be mindful of who you are. I love when people put their music on shuffle. Something simple as music, and you hear country, you hear rock, you hear a little bit of rap, you hear a little bit of this, you hear a little bit of that. And you're like, okay, cool, that's diversity. So you just gotta live your life like that. You know what I'm saying? The more you suppress, the more it's gonna come out of you uncontrollably. So that's
Uncontrollable.
all. Yeah.
Man, listen, uh, before we wrap it up, I was just about to say, listen, my artists, they keep me balanced. I did talk about Nipsey Hussle, talked
Yeah.
about J. Cole, talked about Nas, because they all
Yes, sir.
tap into all those energies all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good here. I'm good here. I'm
Yeah.
good here. Might throw a little Larry June in there. I used to be playing back then, Woo!
Hey man, hey man, hey, good job, man. I
You
like this.
gotta keep
Man.
it P,
Good
man.
job. I like this. Hey, we can close out on that note, man. Talking That Talk official podcast up top. We got No Ordinary Brother. I go by the name of King Exodus. Make sure you tap into that link in both of our bios. That's the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. That's what makes all this real. Feel me? That's what makes all this happen. We appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. We
All
out.
right, y'all.